Well, in the spirit of the Doha Forum's theme, Justice in Action,
we had the launch of a set of principles which define broad parameters for general guidance.
So the Grenada Declaration is an attempt at a novel approach to put Islamophobia and anti-Semitism together.
Both of them are being generated by the same issues.
We need the courage to address Islamophobia for the issue that it is.
So today we had the launch of a set of principles which define broad parameters for general guidance. What is next, of course, first of all, is to create awareness about the principles more broadly amongst various actors, international organizations, national governments, interested groups, Jewish communities, Muslim communities, and so on and so forth. So create the awareness about what is in this, so that we can engage with these communities to discuss how we can operationalize that in the contexts. We hope to get endorsements or support from international organizations. We hope to get support from the certain different stakeholder communities. It's very, very vital that there is a wider acceptance of these principles.
So the Grenada Declaration is an attempt at a novel approach to put Islamophobia and anti-Semitism together as racialized forms of dehumanization. It's very different than previous attempts, but it's also the first that actually tackles Islamophobia and anti-Semitism together. And it's really important for us to do this in this highly politicized moment where we often find anti-Semitism and Islamophobia pitted against one another. For example, in certain countries, to prove that you are an anti-Semite, you need to engage in very Islamophobic claims. And what this declaration does is it actually targets those very notions of pitting Islamophobia and anti-Semitism against one another, ensuring that we take an all approach against racialization and dehumanization of everyone.
There are basically two reasons. One is that both of them are being generated by the same issues. In particular, conflict in the Middle East is spilling over into other regions in the world and leading to racism against Muslims and Jews. And secondly, there is something called the Great Replacement Theory, which is a paranoid fantasy about white populations being replaced by non-white populations, and Jews and Muslims are seen as being party to this so-called plot. So one reason has to do with the fact that anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are coinciding in the world.
Well, in the spirit of the Doha Forum's theme, Justice in Action, the rise of Islamophobia is a stark reminder that our work in achieving equality is far from finished. When we look back in the UK, there's a significant rise of anti-Muslim, anti-migrant narratives that are having a real impact on the British Muslim community. For nearly a decade now, British Muslims have been suffering the highest number of hate crimes. So it's really important that we tackle this insidious hatred head-on. Well, first and foremost, in the UK context, we need a definition of Islamophobia. For too long now, the government has been kicking the can down the road, and without a proper definition, we don't have a lot of regulation in relation to whether it's hate crime both online and offline. I'm delighted that at the Doha Forum, we have had the Grenada Declaration, which looks at both tackling Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. It's important to remember that when any community is targeted, it's not just their safety that is at risk, it's our shared social fabric. So we need proper policies, we need to address the hate crime, we need better data collection, and truthfully, we need the courage to address Islamophobia for the issue that it is.